And welcome back to another episode of The Best Side Corner. I'm your host, Garrett Iwamoto, and today I'm joined here with three very special guests of mine. Joshua Black.
Hey, what's up?
Awash Aloof.
What's up, dude?
And Ryan Rodriguez.
What's up?
Man, how you guys doing?
All right.
Chilling. Hanging in there.
All right. Well, what have you guys been up to these last 2 months?
Just chilling.
Yeah, nothing much.
All right.
Nothing special. Yeah. Not much to do, but, you do the best you can.
Man, I feel that. At least for me, I've been, doing a lot of studying, playing a lot of video games, eating, obviously getting fat, and watching different shows and movies. But, one thing I've been watching a lot of is Pixar movies. And I'm very fortunate enough to have, Disney Plus, but I've been watching a lot of movies from there. But there's one weekend where, I was just binge watching like all of the Pixar movies. And ironically, 2 weeks later, I got assigned, this podcast project. So I thought, why not do my topic on this? I thought it'd be a fun topic to discuss and talk a little bit more about in depth. And, Pixar, does a fantastic job when it comes to storytelling and really makes you have feelings and connections with most of the movies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rank all 22 Pixar movies from worst to best, in my opinion. And from there, we're going to talk about each one as I go up the list. Sounds good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Understood.
But before we start, we have a word from our sponsor.
Oh, boy.
There ain't nothing more relaxing than sitting on your front porch in the middle of July. What better way to quench your thirst than to gulp down a nice, refreshing sugar honey iced tea like Grandma used to make? Sugar honey iced tea, it's the shit. Well, like I said before, this is my list of worst to best Pixar films. You gotta have the very iconic beginning.
Of course.
But anyways, starting off with number 22.
Cars 2.
Yes, sir.
That's Cars 2.
Yes, sir.
I didn't watch Cars 2, so I can't really say much about it.
You don't worry, you're not missing much.
I gotta be real.
You're not missing much.
22 spot. Cool.
You're really not missing much. But I did not like the movie like at all. The whole movie was basically Larry the Cable Guy being unfunny.
Yeah.
And it's really sad to say, but it was just a very boring like movie. Very like just a lot of cliches in there about like spies and stuff. And this movie was pretty much just made for merchandising and like toys and stuff like that.
I saw the first Cars, right?
Yeah.
And I know this is a little off, but I thought it was gonna be more about Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't. I thought it was gonna be way more of like the duo of like Lightning McQueen, Larry the Cable Guy. Mm-hmm. So like now that I hear that Cars 2 was like only about or mostly about Larry the Cable Guy, or Tow Mater, right? That was his name in the movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it makes sense that it is more of a like what you said, like a merchandise type of thing, as opposed to like a story thing.
I mean, there was scenes with like Lightning McQueen in there, but like honestly, you could have just taken it out and it still would have been the same movie. There wasn't really like wasn't really much to talk about, honestly.
It was getting good. Yeah, it was kind of just like lackluster in a lot of ways. But what's funny about Cars 2 is I actually in the Cars trilogy, because there's 3 Cars movies, it actually goes, I think 3 is my least favorite Cars movie.
Really?
Cars 3. Yeah. I have like no interest in Cars
I
3.
can't really say much on that. But
All right.
Yeah, no, Cars 3.
Cars 3, huh?
Well,
We could debate about it more, but
we'll debate about it more when when it comes up in the list. I think.
sounds good. Yeah.
So,
Sounds good.
But
Yeah, Cars
now-
2 isn't a great Pixar movie, though. I agree.
no, it is awful. But anyways, for
Does that mean we can expect Cars 3 perhaps on number 21?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cars 3 now?
actually, it's for number 21. It's
What is it?
Brave.
Brave? Okay, that's what I thought it was gonna be Brave.
Not Brave?
it was not Brave.
Inside
What
Out.
is that?
It is The Good Dinosaur.
Oh,
No way. Okay.
I honestly, to me, it just nothing kind of stood out. I didn't really like the animation of Arnold, the main character. I thought it looked a little bit too cartoony, but more than that, it took a lot of elements from like other better Pixar movies and kind of try to like combine them like all together. What I thought, and from what I heard, there was a lot of production delays, and the director was replaced midway through like production.
that's not good.
Yeah, so like halfway, like they got like halfway through the movie or like whatever, and then brought in a new guy, and so they had to make a like entirely new movie from what they had. So I think that that movie was just bad from the get go.
It was doomed from the start.
Yeah, like it wasn't really their fault, but it's just like they didn't just have enough time to like work on it.
It happens too.
Yeah.
Did it play into like the Pixar theory at all?
I think so.
It did?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because I know you guys know the Pixar theory, right? That like every movie's like connected.
Yeah.
It's all the same storyline. So I was just wondering if that was also played into it. Because sometimes like a movie might not be as good for Pixar, but then like it plays really well into the theory, I've noticed. So
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to number 20.
Cars 3. Cars 3?
It pretty much is Cars 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Cars 3? I agree with that, Lacey.
So here's the thing. I like the beginning of the story. How he's like older. As he's getting older, younger cars are starting to beat him. And, even if we look around like today with athletes, there's like, multiple athletes that, in their prime, they're like amazing. Think of like Kobe Bryant, rest in peace to him. But he was this phenomenal like athlete. But, he started getting older. And then once he broke his or tore his Achilles, he was never the same after that. And we look at like Michael Jordan, Ray Lewis and other people. It's one of those things that happens in the world. And I thought like, honestly, like this was going to be a great movie. But at the end, it kind of fell flat for me. I didn't think it really had like a satisfying ending.
Yeah, I agree. My first thought at the end of Cars 3 when I first watched it was, who asked for this? I was like, who watched Cars 1 and was like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen when he gets older? Like, no one was asking for Cars 3. No one.
Well, I'll just say, I didn't know the cars got older, but in the first one, that one guy was.
Yeah.
Was
old.
The Doc Hudson.
Yeah.
Oh, him. Yeah.
And Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, who asked for this? Like, who asked to see what happens when Lightning McQueen got older? Like, no one cares. Everybody enjoyed Cars 1. Cars 2 was Cars 2. It was kind of like a Tow Mater story.
I think they were trying to, like, make up for Cars 2 a little bit.
They didn't want to end off on Cars 2, maybe.
Yeah.
Cars 2 really that bad, though? Like,
Cars 2 is just, I feel like it's kind of like a kid's movie. Just
It
like
really
straight
is.
movie. There's really no other like there's other Pixar movies that have like a lot to it and a lot to take from it. Cars 2, I think, is just straight a kid's movie. Just like
Y'all keep saying it's so bad, and I believe. I'm not saying I disagree at all. It's just like, damn, it must be really bad.
Well, I think I've seen it like twice, and like I could sit there and watch it. It's not like
Oh, okay.
it's not like a terrible movie. It's just like
We're talking about Cars 2.
yeah, we're talking about Cars 2.
I really liked the American Spy. Even though he dies, like I like his model.
Oh yeah,
I thought he was like super cool. I was like super sad when I first watched it when he died. I'm like, dang, that's a pretty cool car right there.
Yeah, no, it's a cool. It has cool aspects to it, so it's not an all bad movie. It's just a weak movie compared to other Pixar titles.
Yeah.
And then Cars 3, the big gripe I had with Cars 3 is like I didn't mind that the young girl that helped him. Like, oh, this is kind of spoilers for Loth and Ryan because I don't think they've watched Cars 3. But so in Cars 3, when Lightning gets older, like there's a female like assistant he has who helps him train to try and like get him better. But then in the end, she ends up taking his place as a racer. And then she like ends up like being the best racer, which I didn't really mind. But what I didn't like was the fact that like it was kind of just shoved in at the end of the movie. Like it wasn't like she was working really hard for so long and then she had to be Lightning's like assistant and she was still really working hard. It was like at the end she started like doing some of the exercises. It was really good. And then like at the end she does the race and wins it like halfway through the race. It's really
like it didn't. It was
kind of like
right.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like it didn't have a good build up to it.
Yeah, it didn't have a good build up, and then they kind of just threw it in there. And like, I don't mind it. Like, it makes sense. Like, I got it, and like, it's a good message. But like, it was kind of like,
done it better.
Yeah, it could have been done way better, way better. But yeah, that's my gripe with Cars 3.
Man, but I liked how who's the actor that played Doc Hudson, the really old car. Like they took like a bunch of his like unused like lines that he like recorded back in Cars 1 and they used it for like Cars 3. And so in a way it was kind of like yeah. So I thought that was like pretty cool of them.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. No, that's cool.
I don't know the actor who plays the he's good. He's pretty good.
It's Paul Newman.
Is
Paul
it?
Newman?
Yeah, it's Paul Newman.
Really?
Yeah.
He was. I think he was like really like. He really liked racing, actually.
Okay.
So like
That's cool.
the stuff he was like talking about, like he knew what he was talking about, which I thought was like really cool.
That is really cool. Nice. All right.